Quick, leave a like and subscribe in the next 10 seconds if you guys want to know how and when this giant robot battle versus the Polar Peak monster will go down to conclude Season 9. Hit the like and subscribe button right now. Yo, what is going on guys? Welcome back to a brand new Fortnite Battle Royale video here on my channel. So everything up until now has been a little bit up in the air and up for speculation only in terms of how the storyline is going to develop to end off Season 9. However, in today's video, thanks to a ton of sources, especially challenges implemented, particularly this Fortnite in-game, we are able to determine that the Pressure Plant map changes implemented as of recently are that to build a giant robot, being a robot factory. We also have confirmation that was literally teased in front of our eyes since the start of Season 9 in the Battle Pass at Tier 85, being this bot spray, which ultimately foreshadowed this whole time that we'd be seeing a giant robot visiting or created in our Battle Royale island. In today's video, we're not only going to be going over all the leads, leaks and teases we have up until now, determining a giant robot is in the process of being built, but how it's also going to defeat the Polar Peak monster upon being built, with us contributing for the Season 9 finale live event, and ultimately what this means transferring from Fortnite Season 9's end into Season 10. With that said, as you guys can tell, there's a ton of things to go over in today's video, so make sure you're sticking around and watching the full thing, because I guarantee you guys you won't want to miss a second of it, particularly our first look even from the files at a certain part of our Fortnite robot that's completely humongous. Very quickly before we get into any of that, however, I'd quickly like to announce that we're so close right now to 400,000 total subscribers on the channel, so it would mean the world if everybody watching right now who isn't subscribed slaps that big red button, and also whilst they're at it turns on the post notification bell to get updated if you want to as soon as I upload new videos regarding things going on with the Fortnite storyline ending off Season 9 for the Season 9 finale event. I'm also currently running right now until July 20th, 2019 a free 2800 V-Bucks giveaway. Here's how you guys can have a chance to be that winner. All you need to do is leave a like in this video down below, subscribe to the channel with the post notification bell turned on so you never miss a future upload when I upload whatever I upload, and actively use code FriendlyMachine in the item shop. That's all you need to do, and obviously the winner will be picked and announced on July 20th, 2019, so good luck. Anyways, with all that out of the way now, the first thing we ultimately need to make a note of is the recent location changes to Donald Mustard's Twitter bio. Last video we concluded the most recent change was to Preparing. Since then he's changed it to Were and now Pressure Plant, and hasn't been changed since then, even though days have passed since this most recent change, which completely determines the focal point and main point of interest right now revolving the storyline around Season 9 is going to be occurring or triggered from Pressure Plant. The reason we know this is because, well, he's been changing the location almost every day to something different, and upon changing it to Pressure Plant has seemingly stopped, ultimately meaning that everything that's going down is going to happen here, and we're going to see it unfold very soon. As briefly touched upon at the start of the video, this particular Fortnite determines the name in the challenge or requirement itself what this Pressure Plant factory is, a robot factory, but this isn't the only challenge or thing that has a requirement determining the name or the purpose for this Pressure Plant revamp. There is also this challenge right here, collect metal from a robot factory. Two different challenges determining a name location Pressure Plant to have the same purpose of being a robot factory ultimately enforces the fact that we're going to be seeing a robot build here furthermore. Now that we know this is the case, this definitely makes sense of the recent propaganda posters we've seen pulled from the game's files, especially the one on the far right, we can build it, obviously referring to the building process of this giant robot. In a very subliminal way also, the other two images are made sense of through the theme or inspiration for the type of art that's created here, being themed around what we could see in real life at the time of the Cold War or World War II, ultimately implying that the event teased through these posters in Fortnite is going to be that of compared scale to World War II or the Cold War, being a completely humongous and destructive event. Considering it's only a matter of time as of now in Fortnite before the Pressure Plant hatch doors are opened revealing the production process of this robot, many players are questioning why we cannot already see this upon performing a glitch to the Fortnite island in creative, where it reveals what is underneath, or rather not underneath, these hatch doors at Pressure Plant. The reason for this being is because this process or this kind of next step of the event has not been put into the game's files yet, and obviously only the textures, what is contained below these doors, has been implemented upon the map change actually happening for this revamp to Pressure Plant. Considering Epic Games are on vacation now and out of office for the 14 days of summer event until that ends, don't expect this process to be revealed of what's built of of the robot so far until they return to office in early July. With that said though, that doesn't disregard things that have been implemented to the game's files that ultimately let us know what the robot is going to look like upon being constructed or certain parts of it. The first thing, as you guys know, we've got the complete Fortnite picture puzzle right now, revealing everything that's gone on in Fortnite's storyline in a very small drawn form or large like Kevin the Cube's showcase in the picture for this instance, and here it is all clearly labelled. One thing that isn't noted of, however, is this giant head that seems to be attached to some sort of crane, as if something is being constructed artificially, not as if something living has had its head ripped off. This could be our first indication of what the robot ultimately will look like, as this reveals or portrays it to be a giant bear. As we know, Pressure Plant is now a giant robot factory, and what is used in real life at factories? Cranes to move heavy objects. And considering this is the case ultimately linked to what's going on at Pressure Plant, a giant construction of a giant robot, I can't see this head that's portrayed in the Fortnite puzzle to belong to any other thing than this giant robot that's inevitably going to be constructed eventually. Despite Bunker Jonesy desperately attempting to record the events of which he's seen happen or are going to happen in a very minimalistic form, these are not the only forms of what we've seen for the Fortnite giant robot. We've actually had leaked in the game's files as of today, the 30th of June 2019, the first stage and development process of the production of the giant robot being its left foot. As many of you may know, the Polar Peak monster is being referred to in coding in the files as Catus. Well, this foot or robot as a whole is being referred to as Dogus. And the fact that dogs usually scare off cats or beat them in fights, this implies furthermore that the victor of this final battle or fight between the Polar Peak monster and the giant robot is going to be the robot, even despite this message being very cryptic, for this very reason. This also tied in with the fact that Epic Games are developing this robot or having it implemented to defeat this creature. Why would they spend all their time processing this as an actual asset in the game for it to just fail its original purpose? Despite us inevitably knowing the outcome, how we get there, the process of which goes down the fight itself, we do not know will unfold or entail for the Fortnite Island's destruction, considering we know these two things or two beings are completely ginormous, the robot upon being built, and the Catus monster based off the footprint or the feet of both of these things. We know the Catus footprint obviously was huge, entailing the foot of the Catus monster itself to be huge, but now the foot itself of this robot has been compared to other assets or other things in game, so you guys get a realistic view of the size of it upon full production. Here is also a side-by-side comparison of the Catus footprints left behind from the monster fled in and the robot foot itself, and as you can tell, they're very similar in size. And finally, if you guys couldn't interpret the scale of how big this robot will be upon full production just off the comparisons of the foot size to other structures, well, here is the robot's foot compared to the Polar Peak iceberg, of which was once a part of the map and now has been recently seen floating around the island outskirts attached to the Catus monster's back. Anyways, with that said, those are all the aesthetical views or interpretations we have of this giant robot upon being built or in the building process, despite just one thing that I mentioned briefly at the start of the video. This Fortnite spray ultimately foreshadowing the whole time ever since the start of Season 9 that a giant robot would be making an appearance in our Fortnite Island in whatever way, shape or form it could be implemented. We know the Battle Pass cosmetics contained throughout that particular season can largely foreshadow events occurring later on towards its end. For example, this volcanic eruption sticker and the volcanic eruption occurring toward the end of Season 8 during the live event. With that context in mind and based off the design or aesthetical view of the robot on this spray itself, will it look like this upon full production, or was this just ultimately to tease or foreshadow the future? I highly doubt this will be a depiction in a very small form of what the robot will look like upon completion, as the Fortnite puzzle states otherwise, or basically portrays otherwise, implying the fact that this giant robot's head will be that of a teddy bear. Either way, whatever we're going to be seeing in terms of developments in the near future, what do you guys think this giant robot will be represented around? A giant bear, a stereotypical robot itself, or something else? Either way, I'm really curious to know, so let me know your theories right now in the comment section down below. That's all for today's video. Hopefully you guys have a good understanding now of what to expect in the upcoming future, the very near one of that, for Season 9, and the map changes that will be implemented upon the way for it unfolding to an end. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful or want to keep referring back to it in a saved playlist that's easy to access, a like on the video would be much appreciated and also help you out a lot. Also make sure to share this video with all your friends, considering we're now leading up to the biggest live event we're ever going to see in Fortnite Battle Royale's history. If you want to stay up to date with the most recent changes made as soon as they are presented across social media, whether from the files or implemented to the game, then make sure you're subscribing to the channel as I get the videos up as quick as possible. Hopefully I can recognise you guys from staying active in the comment section of my future videos, and I'm out. Have an amazing rest of your day or night wherever you are, whenever you're watching. Have a good one, take it easy, and as always, peace.